The colony of Elysium. 9 was a testament to human ingenuity, a shimmering jewel nestled in the cradle of a distant star system. Towering spires of glass and steel reached toward the sky, their surfaces reflecting the golden light of the twin suns. Below, sprawling gardens and bustling marketplaces teemed with life, a harmonious blend of nature and technology. The air hummed with the quiet efficiency of advanced machinery, and the people moved with purpose, their faces alight with the promise of a bright future. Among them was Dr. Alara Voss, a brilliant engineer whose work on quantum energy matrices had revolutionized the colony's power systems. She stood on the observation deck of the central hub, her sharp eyes scanning the horizon. To her, Elysium, 9 was more than a home. It was a symbol of what humanity could achieve when united by a common goal. Far beyond the colony's borders, in the cold void of space, a sleek alien vessel drifted silently. Its obsidian hull absorbed the starlight, rendering it nearly invisible. Inside, the Zalthari commanders observed the colony through holographic displays, their elongated faces twisted into expressions of disdain. To them, humanity was a curious anomaly, a species that had clawed its way to the stars through sheer stubbornness rather than inherent superiority. Pathetic, his commander whined in, his voice dripping with contempt. They build their little structures and call themselves advanced. Let's show them the true meaning of power. The Zalthari had encountered countless civilizations, each falling before their technological might. They saw no reason why this one would be any different. The attack came without warning. A barrage of plasma bombs streaked through the atmosphere, their fiery trails illuminating the sky like falling stars. The first explosion rocked the colony, sending shock waves through the streets. Panic erupted as buildings crumbled and flames engulfed the once pristine gardens. Ilara's heart raced as she sprinted toward the central command center, her mind racing to assess the damage. The Zalthari had targeted the power grid, hoping to cripple the colony in a single blow. But they had underestimated the resilience of the people they sought to destroy. Emergency protocols kicked in, and the colony's defenses sprang to life. Energy shields flared, deflecting some of the incoming fire, while automated drones scrambled to evacuate civilians. Ilara reached the command center, her hands flying across the holographic interface as she worked to stabilize the grid. Around her, the air buzzed with tension as technicians and soldiers coordinated their efforts. "We've lost Sector 7, reported a grim-faced officer. "The shield generators are down, and the aliens are moving in." Ilara's jaw tightened. She knew the Zalthari's tactics. Strike hard, strike fast, and leave no room for recovery. But she also knew humanity's greatest strength, the ability to adapt. "Reroute power from the secondary grid," she ordered. "We'll buy ourselves some time." As the colony fought to hold its ground, Ilara's mind raced with possibilities. The Zalthari had made a fatal mistake. They had assumed humanity would cower in the face of overwhelming force. They had assumed wrong. The bombing ceased as abruptly as it had begun. The Zalthari ships retreated to the edge of the system, their commanders confident in their victory. The colony was battered but not broken. Smoke rose from the ruins, and the air was thick with the acrid scent of burning metal. Yet, amidst the devastation, there was a quiet determination. Ilara stood amidst the wreckage, her hands stained with soot and her heart heavy with loss. But her eyes burned with resolve. The Zalthari had shown their hand, and in doing so, they had revealed their weakness. They were arrogant, blinded by their belief in their own superiority. And arrogance, Ilara knew, was a flaw that could be exploited. As the survivors began to regroup, Ilara gathered a team of engineers and scientists. They pored over the data from the attack, analyzing every detail of the Zalthari's technology. What they discovered was both alarming and enlightening. The aliens' weapons were powerful, but they relied on a centralized control system, a single point of failure. If that system could be disrupted, the Zalthari's advantage would vanish. Ilara's mind raced with possibilities. She envisioned a device that could hijack the aliens' own technology, turning their strength against them. It was a risky plan, but it was their best chance. The team worked tirelessly, their efforts fueled by a shared determination to protect their home. By the time the Zalthari returned, the colony was ready. The aliens approached with the same arrogance as before, their ships gleaming with malevolent intent. They expected to find a broken people, cowed and defeated. Instead, they were met with a fierce resistance. Illyra's device activated, sending a pulse of energy that disrupted the alien systems. Their weapons faltered and their shields flickered. The humans seized the opportunity, launching a counterattack that drove the Zalthari back. The aliens retreated, their confidence shattered. As the colony celebrated their hard-fought victory, Illyra looked to the stars. The Zalthari had underestimated humanity once. She vowed they would not make the same mistake again. The colony buzzed with activity as the survivors worked tirelessly to rebuild what the Zalthari had destroyed. The air was thick with the sounds of machinery and the determined voices of those who refused to be broken. Dr. Illyra Voss moved through the chaos with purpose. Her mind focused on the task at hand. The attack had left deep scars, but it had also ignited a fire within the people of Elysium 9. They were not just rebuilding, they were preparing. The Zalthari had made their intentions clear, and the humans would not be caught off guard again. Illyra's team had already begun analyzing the fragments of alien technology recovered from the battlefield. What they discovered was both fascinating and terrifying. The Zalthari's weapons were powered by a unique energy source, one that seemed to defy conventional physics. But every system had its weaknesses, and Illyra was determined to find theirs. The data revealed a critical flaw in the Zalthari's design. Their weapons relied on a centralized control system, a single point of failure that, if disrupted, could render their entire arsenal useless. It was a vulnerability that the aliens had likely never considered, their arrogance blinding them to the possibility of being outmaneuvered. Illyra's mind raced as she formulated a plan. If they could create a device capable of hijacking the aliens' control system, they could turn the tide of the next battle. It was a risky proposition, but the alternative was unthinkable. The Zalthari would return, and when they did, the humans needed to be ready. Illyra gathered her team, a diverse group of engineers, scientists, and programmers, each chosen for their unique skills. Together, they worked around the clock, their efforts fueled by a shared determination to protect their home. The lab became a hive of activity, filled with the hum of machinery and the glow of holographic displays. Days turned into nights, and still they pressed on. The device they were building was unlike anything they had ever attempted, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology. It was a gamble, but one they had to take. As the device took shape, Illyra couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The Zalthari were a formidable enemy, and their technology was far beyond anything humanity had encountered. But she also knew that underestimating humans was a mistake many had made before. History was filled with stories of civilizations that had risen from the ashes, stronger and more determined than ever. The people of Elysium 9 were no different. They had faced the brink of destruction and emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. The device was more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of their resilience. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place just as the first reports of the Zalthari's return began to surface. The aliens were approaching the colony, their ships moving with the same cold precision as before. But this time, the humans were ready. Illyra's device was activated, its energy pulse rippling through the air like a silent wave. The effect was immediate. The Zalthari's weapons faltered, their once imposing ships now vulnerable. The humans seized the opportunity, launching a coordinated counterattack that caught the aliens off guard. The battle was fierce, but the tide had turned. The Zalthari, so confident in their superiority, found themselves on the defensive. Illyra watched from the command center, her heart pounding as the battle unfolded. The device was working, but the fight was far from over. The Zalthari were not easily defeated, and they would not retreat without a fight. The humans fought with everything they had, their determination unwavering. Slowly but surely, they began to gain the upper hand. The alien ships, once a symbol of fear, now burned in the sky, their wreckage falling to the ground like meteors. The colony's defenses held firm, their shields glowed with a fierce intensity. As the last of the Zalthari ships retreated, a cheer erupted throughout the colony. The humans had done the impossible. They had faced a superior enemy and emerged victorious. But Illyra knew that this was only the beginning. The Zalthari would not forget this defeat, and they would return with even greater force. The humans needed to be ready. As she looked out over the colony, now bathed in the light of the twin suns, Ilara felt a surge of pride. They had proven that humanity was not to be underestimated, and they would do so again no matter what the galaxy threw at them. The Zalthari fleet returned with vengeance, their ships descending upon Elysium, 9 like a swarm of predatory insects. This time, they came in greater numbers, their sleek, obsidian vessels blotting out the stars as they approached. The colony's sensors lit up with warnings, but there was no panic. The humans had prepared for this moment, their resolve hardened by the scars of the previous attack. Dr. Ilara Voss stood at the heart of the command center, her eyes fixed on the holographic display that showed the advancing fleet. The device she and her team had built was ready, its energy core humming with latent power. This was their chance to strike back, to show the Zalthari that humanity would not be cowed. The aliens opened fire, their plasma bombs streaking through the atmosphere like comets. The colony's shields flared under the assault, their energy reserves draining rapidly. Ilara's fingers danced across the console, activating the device. A pulse of energy surged through the air, invisible but potent. The effect was immediate. The Zalthari's weapons sputtered and died, their control systems overwhelmed by the disruptive signal. The alien ships faltered, their once imposing formations thrown into disarray. The humans seized the opportunity, launching a counterattack with precision and ferocity. Drones and fighters swarmed the enemy, their weapons tearing through the vulnerable hulls of the Zalthari vessels. The battle raged in the skies above Elysium 9, a chaotic dance of light and fire. The humans fought with a determination born of desperation and hope. They knew what was at stake, not just their colony, but the very future of humanity. The Zalthari, for all their technological superiority, were unprepared for the sheer tenacity of their opponents. Their arrogance had blinded them to the possibility of defeat, and now they were paying the price. Ilara watched as the tide of the battle shifted, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. The device was working, but the fight was far from over. The Zalthari commanders, realizing the extent of their miscalculation, scrambled to regain control. They redirected their forces, focusing their effort on the source of the disruptive signal. A squadron of alien fighters broke through the human defenses, their target clear, the command center. Ilara's team worked frantically to reinforce the shields, but the aliens were relentless. The building shook under the impact of their attacks, the air filled with the sound of tearing metal and shattering glass. Ilara knew they couldn't hold out much longer. She made a split-second decision, ordering the evacuation of non-essential personnel, while she stayed behind to ensure the device remained operational. As the last of her team left, Ilara found herself alone in the command center. The walls groaned under the strain, and the lights flickered ominously. She focused on the console, her hand steady despite the chaos around her. The device was her only hope, and she would not let it fail. The Zalthari fighters closed in, their weapons trained on the building. Just as they prepared to deliver the final blow, a surge of energy erupted from the device. The pulse was stronger than before, its effects rippling to the alien fleet like a shockwave. The fighters were thrown off course, their systems overloaded. The humans, seeing their chance, pressed the attack. The Zalthari fleet began to retreat, their ships limping away from the battlefield. The humans had done the impossible. They had faced a superior enemy and emerged victorious. But the cost had been high. The colony was battered, its once pristine structures now scarred by war. Ilara emerged from the command center, her face streaked with soot and her body aching with exhaustion. She looked out over the colony, her heart heavy with the weight of what they had lost. But there was also a sense of pride, a quiet determination that burned within her. They had proven that humanity could stand against the odds, that they were not to be underestimated. As the suns rose over Elysium 9, casting their golden light over the battlefield, Ilara knew that this was only the beginning. The Zalthari would return, and the humans needed to be ready. But for now, they had won. They had shown the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with, and they would do so again, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The fight was far from over, but for the first time in a long while, Ilara allowed herself to hope. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, and that was a victory worth fighting for. The Zalthari fleet was in disarray, their once imposing ships now scattered and broken. The humans had done the impossible, turning the tide of the battle with ingenuity and sheer determination. As the last of the alien vessels retreated into the void, a heavy silence fell over Elysium 9. The colony was battered, its streets littered with debris, and its skies still tinged with the acrid smoke of battle. But amidst the destruction, there was a palpable sense of triumph. The people of Elysium 9 had faced annihilation and emerged victorious. Dr. Alara Voss stood amidst the ruins, her body aching and her mind racing. The victory was bittersweet, a reminder of the cost of survival. Yet, as she looked out over the colony, she felt a surge of pride. They had proven that humanity could stand against the odds, that they were not to be underestimated. The aftermath of the battle was a flurry of activity. Survivors worked tirelessly to tend to the wounded and clear the wreckage. The air was filled with the sounds of rebuilding, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Alara moved through the chaos, her presence a calming force amidst the turmoil. She knew that their victory was only the beginning. The Zalthari would not forget this defeat, and they would return with even greater force. The humans needed to be ready. As she surveyed the damage, Alara's mind turned to the future. They had proven their ability to defend themselves, but they needed more than just survival. They needed to send a message, one that would echo across the stars. Alara gathered her team once more, their faces etched with exhaustion, but their eyes alight with determination. Together, they began to analyze the data from the battle, searching for ways to improve their defenses. The device they had built had been a turning point, but it was only the first step. They needed to innovate, to push the boundaries of what was possible. The Zalthari's technology had given them a glimpse into the possibilities of the universe, and Alara was determined to harness that knowledge. The team worked tirelessly, their efforts fueled by a shared sense of purpose. They knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and they would not falter. As the days turned into weeks, the colony began to heal. The scars of the battle remained, but they were a reminder of what they had overcome. The people of Elysium 9 had been tested, and they had emerged stronger. Alara watched as the colony came together, their unity a powerful force against the darkness. She knew that their strength lay not just in their technology, but in their ability to adapt and persevere. The Zalthari had underestimated them, and they had paid the price. But Alara also knew that the galaxy was vast, and there were other threats lurking in the shadows. They needed to be ready for whatever came next. The humans sent a message to the stars, a declaration of their resilience and determination. It was a warning to those who would seek to destroy them, a reminder that humanity would not be cowed. The message was simple but powerful. You bombed us? Adorable. Watch this. It was a statement of defiance, a promise that they would not only survive but thrive. The Zalthari received the message, their commander seething with rage and disbelief. They had underestimated the humans once, and it had cost them dearly. They would not make the same mistake again. Alara stood on the observation deck, her eyes fixed on the stars. The future was uncertain, but she felt a sense of hope. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger. They had proven that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. As she looked out over the colony, now bathed in the light of the twin suns, she knew that they were ready for whatever came next. The fight was far from over, but they would face it together. They had shown the galaxy that underestimating humanity was a grave mistake, and they would do so again, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The stars were vast, but so was their determination, and that was a force that could not be defeated.